Did you catch yesterday's Feature Friday? We discussed the 5 step weekend prep framework, which helps job seekers enter Monday ahead of the competition. Today, we're going deeper. Welcome to Deep Dive Saturday. I'm Imani, your career coach. I'm here to help you stand out above the rest, build the skills that matter in this new AI era, and land your dream job, even in the most competitive remote first job market we've ever seen. On this channel, you'll get real tips, interview prep strategies, and a few hacks I've picked up that can make a huge difference. Basically, I'm here to walk with you through the process so you don't have to figure it out alone. Not surface level, not theory, but you can use actual examples and walkthroughs this weekend. And we're starting with the first and maybe the most important step, SMART goals. Here's the truth. Most job seekers fail, not because they're unqualified, but because they don't know how to aim. They set vague goals. They say things like, I'll apply to some jobs this week. But some isn't measurable, it's not trackable, and it won't get you where you want to go. A 2007 study by Dr. Gail Matthews, a psychology professor at Dominican University of California, found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. That's not motivation fluff, that's data. When you write something down, your brain treats it differently. It becomes a commitment. It becomes real. So if you're serious about changing your career path, you can't just think about your goals. You need to write them, track them, and make them SMART. SMART is an acronym you've probably heard before. But here's the key. Most people hear it once in a workshop and never apply it to their own life. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. It sounds simple, but it's a game changer when applied to job seeking. Let's break this down slowly with real-world examples. Specific goals answer the question, what exactly am I going to do? If your goal is, I'll apply to jobs, it's too broad. But if your goal is, I'll apply to 15 remote-first AI jobs in my field of interest, now it's targeted. You've told your brain exactly what to look for. Measurable goals let you track progress. Numbers matter. Instead of, I'll network this weekend, make it measurable. I'll connect with 3 new professionals on LinkedIn by Sunday night. Now you can check it off. It's either done or not done. Here's where people get stuck. If you set a goal like, I'll apply to 100 jobs by Sunday night, and you've barely applied to 10 in the last month, your brain will shut down. Unrealistic goals breed procrastination. So scale it down. Maybe it's 10 this week, 15 next week, 20 the week after. Achievability builds momentum. Not all goals are good goals. If you're applying to jobs outside your career interest just to fill a quota, that's not relevant. Relevant goals align with your values, your skills, and your long-term direction. If your dream is to break into AI project management, don't waste energy applying for roles in unrelated industries just to say you applied. Finally, time-bound. A goal without a deadline is just a wish. When you say, I'll finish my star story by Sunday at 6 p.m., your brain recognizes urgency. Time creates accountability. So here's a SMART goal for this weekend. By Monday morning, I'll apply to 15 remote-first AI jobs, update my resume with 1 new star story, and send 3 LinkedIn connection requests. That's specific. That's measurable. That's achievable. That's relevant. That's time-bound. And that's the difference between drifting into Monday and walking into Monday prepared. Now that you know what a SMART goal looks like, let's expand into real-world examples. Because I know some of you are students, some of you are parents re-entering the workforce, Some of you are mid-career professionals pivoting into AI, and some of you are simply tired of scrolling job boards and feeling invisible. Wherever you are, SMART goals work. They adapt to you. Let's say you're a recent graduate. Your old goal might have been, I need to find a job. That's vague. That's overwhelming. And it usually ends with endless scrolling on Indeed. Here's a SMART version. By Sunday evening, I will research and save 10 AI related entry level jobs in my field, and I'll apply to 5 of them by Monday morning. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Now, instead of facing an ocean of options, you've narrowed it down to something you can actually finish. In today's rapidly changing world, the future of work requires a proactive mindset. It's essential to prepare and adapt to new challenges. By setting SMART goals, you can take actionable steps towards success. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to rise and strengthen your credibility. Embrace continuous learning and don't hesitate to reset your strategy when needed. Your journey is unique, and every step taken with intention shapes the future of work for you. For the parent returning to the workforce, the challenge often feels even heavier. There's a gap on the resume. Confidence feels shaky. The vague goal might sound like, I'll start looking for jobs again. But that's too loose. Here's the SMART version. This weekend, I'll update my resume with one new star story about how I managed multiple responsibilities at home, and I'll apply to 3 flexible remote AI support roles by Monday. See how that reframes the gap into strength? Now you're not just looking for jobs. You're owning your experience, packaging it, and aiming directly at opportunities that fit your life. Then there's the career changer. Maybe you're moving from retail, hospitality, or operations into tech or AI. The vague goal might be, I'll try to apply to some remote jobs. But SMART goals shift that energy. By Sunday night, I'll complete one 30-minute project using ChatGPT or Midjourney, update my resume to highlight that project, and apply to 5 AI-related roles by Monday. That way, you're not only applying, you're creating proof of adaptability. What if you're mid-career, already working, but looking to level up into an AI-driven promotion? The vague goal might be, I'll start prepping for interviews. The SMART version could be, this weekend, I'll record myself answering 2 behavioral interview questions on video, review the playback for filler words and posture, and write down 1 improvement for next time. By Monday, I'll have a clearer picture of my presence on camera. Now you're not just prepping. You're creating evidence of growth. Did you notice a pattern? None of these SMART goals are massive. They're not overwhelming. They don't demand 20 hours of labor. They're bite-sized actions. But bite-sized actions, repeated week after week, create transformation. When Carla, one of my clients, pivoted from retail into tech, this was the key. She went from applying randomly and getting nowhere to setting SMART goals each weekend. Within a month, she went from 0 interviews to 4 interviews and landed a remote AI customer success role at $72,000. Not because she suddenly became more qualified, but because her goals made her more consistent, more confident, and more visible. Now, let's talk about what I call the reset routine. Every weekend, take a moment to sit down, write down your SMART goals, and give yourself a reset. Not just a reset of tasks, but a reset of energy. This routine shifts your mindset from reactive to proactive. Instead of scrambling Monday morning, wondering where to start, you walk into Monday knowing exactly what you're going to do. That shift is powerful because in today's AI-driven job market, clarity is not optional. It's a competitive edge. Right now, your goal might be 15 to 20 applications by Monday. That's doable. That's focused. But soon, with our smart assistant, you'll be able to scale. Imagine this. While you sleep, your smart assistant fills out 200 curated AI job applications per week with your resume, your star stories, and your skills front and center. That's the future. But here's the catch. If your resume doesn't show AI readiness, if your skills aren't stacked to match today's jobs, or if your goals aren't clear, then 200 applications won't help. They'll just be noise. That's why we're working in layers. Layer 1 equals credibility, smart goals, resume and LinkedIn updates, star stories, skill stacking, mindset resets. Layer 2 equals scale, video interview practice, smart assisted applications, networking, and hidden job market strategies. We'll get to layer 2. But first, we build the credibility foundation. That's what will set you apart when thousands of other candidates are rushing to apply. We've talked about the framework. We've broken down SMART into specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We've looked at real-world examples, from new grads to career pivoters, to parents returning to work, to professionals leveling up. Now let's expand with stories of transformation. Because theory is nice, but stories make it real. I told you about Carla earlier. She came from retail, and she was frustrated. Every weekend she told herself, I'll apply to jobs. But without smart goals, she just scrolled, felt overwhelmed, and gave up halfway through. When we built her weekend prep around smart goals, everything changed. Her new plan looked like this. Apply to 15 AI jobs by Monday morning. Update her resume with one star story by Saturday night. Record one practice video answer by Sunday. That was it. Not overwhelming. Not unrealistic. Within 4 weeks, Carla went from 0 interviews to 4. She landed a remote AI customer success role at $72,000. Her words? My confidence came from knowing I wasn't scrambling. I was ready before the week began. Then there's Jen. Jen worked in hospitality. When the pandemic hit, her role disappeared overnight. She felt lost, invisible. Her old goal was, I'll try to get a job. But try isn't a plan. When she started setting SMART goals, her weekend reset looked like this. Apply to 20 jobs weekly. Practice video answers every Sunday. Use a smart assistant tool to stale her applications. Within 8 weeks, Jen landed a remote AI implementation specialist role at $95,000. Her hiring manager told her, You felt polished on video. That was the deciding factor. That's the power of SMART goals. They don't just create structure, they create presence. One more. Stanford came to me frustrated, stuck at $60,000 a year. His old strategy? Apply randomly and hope for the best. When we reworked his weekend prep, his SMART goals looked like this. Update resume with AI-related keywords. Add one star story each weekend. Practice 3 video interview questions every Sunday. Apply to 20 targeted jobs each Monday. Within 1 month, Stanford landed a new role paying $75,000. That's a $15,000 raise in 30 days. Not from working harder, but from preparing smarter. Now here's the part most people skip. Writing SMART goals is powerful, but accountability makes them stick. So here's what I want you to do. Number 1, write down one SMART goal for this weekend. Number 2, drop it in the comments under this video. Number 3, come back Monday and tell me if you hit it. When you put your goals in writing and when you share them publicly, your chances of success skyrocket. Remember that 42% stat? That's the baseline. But when you add accountability, it climbs even higher. So pause right now. Think of one smart goal you can set this weekend. Is it 15 applications? Is it recording one interview answer? Is it reaching out to 3 new LinkedIn connections? Whatever it is, write it down and then type it in the comments. This isn't just about you listening to me. It's about you taking action. Because transformation doesn't come from ideas. It comes from action. Now let me be clear. SMART goals are layer 1. They build credibility. But there's hope ahead. Soon, with the Smart Assistant, you'll be able to scale your job search up to 200 curated applications per week. That's scale. But if you skip layer 1, layer 2 won't work. 200 weak applications are still weak. 200 strong, AI-ready applications, that's a game changer. So stick with me, because each week we'll build another piece of your foundation until you're ready to scale. And don't forget, tomorrow is Strategy Sunday. Saturdays are about deep dives. Sundays are about strategy. Tomorrow we'll take these SMART goals and turn them into a weekly execution plan. I'll show you how to map out your week so that when Monday hits, you're not scrambling, you're executing. Weekends are not for rest, they're for reset. And tomorrow, we'll reset your strategy for the week ahead. And if you're new here, make sure you also check out Resume Tips 2025, Why Your Resume Isn't the Problem. Your story is. That video will show you how to craft stories that set you apart. And when you combine that with SMART goals, you'll be unstoppable. So let me close with this. You're not just applying for jobs. You're preparing for the future of work. When you set SMART goals, you take control of your career path. When you track them, you build consistency. When you share them, you build accountability. And that mindset, that's what changes everything. So here's my challenge to you. Write down one SMART goal for this weekend. Make it clear. Make it measurable. Make it achievable. Keep it relevant and give it a deadline. Drop it in the comments so I can cheer you on. And remember, this is just the beginning. Tomorrow is Strategy Sunday, where we'll take this goal setting and connect it to building weekly practices that keep you consistent. And before you go, make sure you hit that like button so more job seekers like you can find this video. Also, check out my other video, Why 70% of Jobs Are Hidden and How to Move Up. You'll find the link in the description. You're not just applying for jobs. You're preparing for the future of work. And this is history in the making.